We all know that Uber and Lyft are doing everything possible to pay you and me, the drivers, as little as possible. Instead of time and distance, we're now paid through this black box algorithm, and we don't even know how they're calculating what to offer us in upfront payouts. So what do we have control over? Well, one thing we have control over is our tips. We still get 100% of the tips. So what could we do to possibly get more tips? Well, one idea I've had in the back of my mind for a long time is, what if I put some signs up in the back of my car? So I thought, what the heck? Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact 2 signs that I put up. I did 1 weekend without the signs, 1 weekend with the signs, and I'm going to share with you the results. Stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to share with you my actual percentage with and without the signs. So all that and more coming up. Hey everybody, it's Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy. Happy to be here with you. Drinking a little Nespresso. Okay, let's get into this. This was actually quite a bit of fun. So bonuses, right? That's one way we can definitely get more money, right? Drive when we can get some bonuses. But every time we drive, we have an opportunity to get tips. And tips we get to keep 100%. So I thought, what if I made some signs? Okay, so they're only going to be like 8.5 by 11, regular piece of paper. And here's what I came up with. So the first sign I put on the left side of the car, right? So that's where most passengers don't sit. They usually sit, diagonal to where I am in the back seat. So this one, I don't even mention tips. I just wanted to kind of have something that might make them chuckle. So here's what I came up with. So I'm a big Far Side cartoon fan, and this is actually my favorite one. So it says, it's always a good day for a laugh. Here's a classic Far Side cartoon for you today. Thanks for riding with me, Jay. And then it shows Ralph Harrison, king of salespersons. So as you can see, he sold all the Eskimos refrigerators and freezers to keep their stuff cold, even though they absolutely didn't need it. So the second sign is the one where I say some things about tips, and I really go for the jugular here. I let them know that every tip goes to support my daughter getting through medical school. So with her permission, this is what that sign looked like. So it says, on tips, tips are never expected. Tips are always appreciated. All tips go to the Get Paulina Through Medical School Fund. Thank you. And there's my daughter in her little white lab coat. So what I did is I made these on Photoshop. It just took about a half an hour. Then I went, put it on one of those little thumb drives, went to FedEx, printed it, laminated it, and put some holes at the top. And then I just got some gardening wire, some green gardening wire, and looped it around the back. So here's what it looked like. So this is from the side of the right side of the car, and that's where you see the Paulina sign with the tips thing. And then the next image you see is from the other side, where sometimes some people sit, but usually not so much. So this one, actually hardly anyone commented on that sign. So that's the game plan. Let's do 1 weekend without the sign. So that was the weekend before last. And then this last weekend with the signs. Okay, number 1, fear of the unknown. So I got to tell you that I got a little panicked about doing this. I thought, am I going to kind of irritate any passengers? Am I being too forward? Am I being too aggressive here? And I quite honestly thought I wasn't going to do the experiment. But then I resigned to say, I'll do it for a weekend. Let's just see what happens. And if I don't like the results, or I don't like the way it makes me feel, then I'll stop it after that. But I got to let you know, I had some fear of the unknown going into this experiment. Number 2, last week's results. So what you're seeing here is what I did last week. So you're seeing both Uber and Lyft. I drove for both, and you can see how much money I made. And on the left, you can see that I got $66.95 in tips from Uber. And for Lyft, I got $37.56 from Lyft. So those are the numbers going into the experiment this last weekend with the signs. Okay, number 3 is this week's results. So here again, now you're seeing I drove a little bit more over the weekend, but that's okay because we're going to be looking at the percentage of tips. So you can see with Uber here, I got $135 in tips, and with Lyft, I got $13.07. I only did a couple of hours of driving for Lyft over this last weekend. I really focused on Uber because Uber's offering me a guarantee on 210 rides of $2,660. So that was worth it for me to just focus on Uber primarily over this last weekend. So now let's crunch the numbers. So number 4, the results. So what you're seeing here is a spreadsheet. And what I did is I broke out the revenue, the bonuses, right? Because I don't want to include the bonuses as part of my revenue. That's extra on top. And then the tips. So last week, when you break it all down, bottom line, 15% of my net revenue, I earned an additional 15% in tips. So not bad, right? I really haven't ever looked at the numbers this closely before. Now this week, the week with the sign, you can see that my percentage of tips went up to 18%. That's a 20% increase versus last week. 20% increase. So I got to say that that's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. And it was really great to see that these signs actually worked. Okay, number 5, ancillary benefits. So that means like additional benefits, things that I didn't expect. Well, what I didn't expect that this would be such a conversation starter. I had quite a few people talk to me about my daughter going through medical school, and they were kind of curious about it. Not one person mentioned the Far Side cartoon, but again, I would say 80% of the passengers sit on the right side. In fact, I had one really funny conversation with the guy. I was talking about dialysis, that I take a lot of people to go to dialysis, and that they would really love it if they could get a kidney, And he said, a lot of people can sell their kidneys and make a lot of money for their kidneys. And I said, oh, really? I didn't realize that. And he said, yeah, Jay, you could, what did he say? Jay, you could sell one of your kidneys and use the money for Paulina's medical school. So I thought that was pretty funny. But I did find that, so the sign worked in a couple ways. One, it might have just reminded them about the importance of the value of tips and how much I appreciate it. But 2, I think it made them connect with me a little bit more because they understood that I was a father of a daughter going through medical school. So that might have played into it. I don't know. So those were the results, and that was the ancillary benefit. So what are the key takeaways? Well, the key takeaways was this is a big success. Woo! So I am keeping the signs. I'm going to put the signs up next weekend, and I'm going to keep track of the statistics. But the fact that these conversations got started around this sign was really fun and encouraging. As you know, one of the reasons I like to drive is the passengers. That's why I don't like to deliver food. It doesn't talk to me. But the passengers, they do talk to me. And we have these sometimes some great conversations. So this generated some conversations. And that, as much as anything, was a huge benefit of the signs. And plus making a little bit of extra money in tips, which we get to keep 100%. So if you're thinking about doing something like this, I highly recommend it. Give it a shot. Your sign's going to be a little different than mine. You're going to want to just track the results. And, if it doesn't work, you might want to try a different kind of sign. I might try another type of sign down the road as well. But it does seem to, they're sitting there. They got nothing to do. It's just right in front of them. They can't really not see it. And from this short experiment, it certainly seems to be paying off. So Yahoo, I like it. Now, I want to say thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, please, check the like. If you haven't subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, subscribe. We bring you content every single day, teaching you how to be a better driver and make more money in less time. This is Jay Crater with the RideShare Guy saying thank you so much. Go out and tell someone you love them. Be safe out there, and I will see you next time.